information for which you have to prepare and complete this balance sheet. Already we prepared certain items and we calculated certain items here. The continuation of that only we are going to discuss right now. So we have calculated net worth, and then we calculated current debt, and we calculated total debt, and then from total debt and current debt we calculated long term debt. Okay, so we have calculated current debt and total debt. So with that you can calculate the long term debt. If you subtract these two items you will get the long term debt. So this is also already in previous session we discussed. And then net sales to inventory they have given, with which I found out the inventory amount of rupees 5 lakhs. Okay, so that's it we have done. So remaining part of that we can discuss right now. So what else we have to calculate, we can just look into. So net worth we calculated, current debt and total debt, long term debt we calculated, and then say inventory we calculated. Okay, and remaining part we have to calculate. Okay, so next we can move on to the average collection period, which was given as 90 days. So we can use this information and we can proceed further. So let me mention here, average collection period is given as 90 days. Okay, so this average collection period formula is, so if they give you months or months, no, you'll be using the number of months in a year as the numerator. If they give you days, in days if they mention like this, you have to go ahead with number of days. Okay, average collection period formula is number of days or months in a year, number of days or months in a year divided by debtors turnover ratio. Okay, so this is the formula for that, and they have given us 90 days. Okay, so whenever days if you come across, no, you have to use days only here. So in 1 year we have 365 days actually, but if you take a numerator as 365, no, it will come in point. So here I am going to take it as, instead of 365 days I am going to take as 360 days. Okay, because in order to get a round of figure, if I divide this 360 divided by 90, no, I will get as 4. If I take 365 divided by 90, no, then it will come in point. So in order to avoid that, here I need a round of figure. So that's what I am taking here, 360 days. Okay, in some of the questions, no, they will mention as take it as 360 days itself. Okay, in certain question they will not mention. Either you can consider as 365 days also, but in order to get a round of figure, I'm going to take it as 360 days. Okay, so here I cannot divide by 90 because I don't know the debtors turnover ratio. Okay, so number of days or months in a year, whenever they represent it as days, you better take it number of days as 360 days and divided by debtors turnover ratio, which I don't know. So I'm going to consider it as X. Okay, is equal to 90. Okay, now how to calculate this X? X into 90 will become as 90X. Okay, 90X is equal to 360. Now X is equal to 360 divided by 90 is equal to 4. Now what is this turnover ratio? So I have to express in times. Okay. So what is this X now? Data's turnover ratio. Data's turnover ratio is equal to 4 times. Okay, so let me explain one more time. So as we have to prepare the balance sheet and balance sheet information, certain things they have given that we have to calculate these things. Okay, so we have to calculate all these information. So one by one we have started to calculate, and first net worth we have calculated, long then current debt, and then total debt. With that long term debt also I have calculated and finished all my liability side, and asset side I have started, and I have calculated stock, that is my inventory I have calculated. Now moving on to the debtors, I have to calculate this one. So for which they have given me certain information. With that information, I am going to calculate this debtors amount. So average collection period, they have given us 90 days, with which I am going to calculate now debtors turnover ratio. And then I am going to proceed further. So average collection period, if you see, no, they have given us 90 days. So what is the formula if I take? It is number of days or months in a year divided by debtors turnover ratio. This is my actual formula, and they have given as 90. Now I know that number of days, if they give you as months, no, you have to take care 12. Okay, if they give you in days, as in the question, you have to take it as in days. So in order to avoid a point and the variations, I have taken as a round of figure as, instead of 365 days, I have taken as 360 days. Okay, and number of days is 360. Data's turnover ratio I don't know, so I have taken as X. Okay, and 90 they have already given, that I have mentioned here. Now how to calculate? Usually in max, how you will do that same procedure only. 90 into X is 90X is equal to 360. X is equal to 360. This multiplication, if it is go this side, it will become division. So 360 divided by 90 is 4 times. So this is known as data's turnover ratio, that is 4 times. Okay, so with this I am going to calculate now data's amount. How to calculate? Now I know the data's turnover ratio as 4 times. Data's turnover ratio as 4 times I know now. So what is the formula for this data's turnover ratio? Net credit sales, net credit sales, okay, divided by average accounts receivables. Okay, so this is the formula for that, and this we know already. So I'm mentioning it as 4. Okay, now net credit sales is how much? You have to verify the question. Okay, so this is our question. Our annual sales turnover for a company is 23 lakhs. Here they have not given any sales return or credit sales information or cash sales information. Nothing they have given. If they have given some cash sales information, you have to deduct total sales. You have to subtract cash sales and sales return, everything you have to subtract and find out net credit sales. But here they have not given, only annual sales turnover they have given. So this will be considered as the net credit sales here. Okay, so this 23 lakhs should be considered as the net credit sales. So now let us mention here 23 lakhs. Okay, 23 lakhs. Now this amount is the net credit sales amount is 23 lakhs. Average accounts receivable we don't know. Okay, we don't know the opening debtors or closing debtors, opening bills receivable, closing bills receivable, anything we don't know. So we have to consider it as X only. So 4 times we just now calculated here. This 4 times I'm using here. Okay, and then you have to do as you do for the max. Okay. Now 4x is equal to, so what will happen? X into 4. This x into 4 will become 4x. 4x is equal to 23 lakhs. Now x is equal to 23 lakhs divided by 4. So x is equal to 23 lakhs divided by 4. How much it is coming? You just verify and find out. That will be our average accounts receivable. But this one, average accounts receivable, you cannot differentiate here. How much is opening, how much is closing, debtors or bills receivable, nothing you can differentiate. So whatever we find out here now as accounts receivables, that should be considered as debtors only here. Okay, because we cannot differentiate here. So we have to consider the entire amount, whatever you find out that X amount, that will be your average accounts receivable and that will be considered as debtors amount also. So just find out how much you are getting. 23 lakhs
5 lakh
divided
75,000.
by 4, 5,75,000. Okay. So this will be your debt. Okay. So let us mention here. You can straight away mention as average accounts receivables or even debtors amount also you can mention here. Average accounts receivable போட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் you can mention as debtors amount as 5,75,000. Okay. Clear? Till this it is clear to all. Is it clear to all till this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because before 2-3 days back we did this problem. So you might have forgotten. So just see whether you can understand this one. Okay. So next moving on to the other part of
Ma'am,
so still
answer is
something
5 lakh
information.
60,000.
Just find out 5,75,000 or what? Even myself 5,75,000 only I'm getting. So 1 minute. 5,75,000 only I'm also getting. Just verify. Okay. So moving on to the next part of our question. So what else we have to calculate? We have to look into. See here, average collection period. With that I have calculated the debtors amount. Next moving on to fixed assets to net worth. They have given us 53.2%. Okay. Fixed assets to net worth. Already we have calculated net worth amount and kept. And we know this also 53.2%. So net worth amount we know already. So here we calculated, you just see 10 lakh. With this help of 10 lakh, no, now I'm going to calculate my fixed assets worth so that I can finish off this also. Okay. So fixed assets amount also now we can calculate. Okay. So next part of our question is fixed assets to net worth. That is, they have given us 53.2%. Okay. Now fixed assets to net worth, how we can write them as fixed assets divided by net worth. Okay. And you can mention as 53.2%. Okay, so 53.2% means what? 53.2 divided by 100. I think it's 0.532, right? 53.2%, how you can rewrite that? 53.2 divided by 100. Okay. Zero 0.532. So 0.532 straight away you can mention here. 0.532. Okay. So now fixed assets, we don't know. That we should keep as X only. No other go. We don't know fixed assets. So that we have to keep it as X only. You mention it as small x. Okay. But X, I don't know. But net worth, I know. So net worth amount, I know. So that net worth amount will be 10 lakhs. So already we calculated this amount and kept. So you can use that 10 lakhs here is equal to 0.532. Okay. Now how to calculate this X? Now X is equal to 10 lakhs into 0.532. If you multiply, cross multiply, you will get your X. So how to calculate this X? You don't know this X. What is this X actually? It is fixed assets. You know net worth amount. So we have substituted 10 lakh rupees here and they have given 53.2%. So I'm going to convert that 53.2%. You can do it as 53.2 divided by 100. So we are getting 0.532. Okay, divide by 100 if you are doing, you will be getting 0.532. Now I am going to substitute here. So now X I have to get. How to get? 10 lakh into 0.532 if you do, you will get that 0.532 if you do, you will get this X. So this X is known as fixed assets. So how much you are getting? 10 to 0.532?
5 lakh 30.
5,32,000. 5,32,000. So yeah, everywhere you have to mention in rupees only. So if you come across turnover ratios, you have to mention in times. Okay, current ratios, all those things in proportions. Whenever you find out certain amount like assets or something stock or something, no liability, some current liabilities like that, you have to mention in rupees only. So you should take care of all those things. Okay. Now what we have found out means it is fixed assets. So that is rupees 5,32,000. Okay. So this is our fixed assets amount. Now you have to again go to the question back and find out what all items we have still didn't find out. So you have to just look into the question. So if you see if in this question they have given you the balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet, these all items we have to fill in like that they have given. Okay, balancingly you have. So let us prepare now the other thing, fixed assets we have found out, and then debtors we have found out, stock we have found out, but still we didn't find cash amount detail. Cash
Ma'am?
so give me a minute.